Welcome, my friends. Welcome to Touching the Edge. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being part of this current series, Seeing Greatness, and finding ways to see greatness in a way that ends up with us drawing towards it. And I want to suggest that when you really see something, not just look at it, but really see it, that you automatically become more intimately connected. It connects like with that word respect. To respect, which means to do again, which I consider to be a description towards discipline. And spect, which is the root of spectacles. So respect means to see again, to look with fresh eyes, to look in a way that allows us to see. And I want to suggest that one of the best ways for us to see more vividly is to practice seeing. And we can do that by utilizing our resources. And I'm into words, which means again, to do again, and source. So resources allow you to connect consistently with your source. And so we want to find different resources and recognize the importance of utilizing them on a regular basis. When you utilize your resource, you draw energy into your system. And so I want to suggest that you know what your resources are. Be clear about them and use them in a disciplined way every single day. Bring professionalism to your practice of discovering and seeing your own greatness and seeing greatness in the world. And so to me, one of those ways that I've used for at least, I would say about 35 years, I'm going to show this to you now. I just got a new package of them. The angel cards. Now this is and I have no affiliation with this company, but this is by Kathy Tyler and Joy Drake. I have to say that Joy Drake, I don't know who this person is, but I feel a resonance with the name because for me, Drake, but joy is one of the essential elements that we often talk about. So Joy Drake is automatically resonant. But I really, really like this particular product, and I've been using it for so many years. And so I just want to encourage you to get this product. Now, when you get it, now I just opened this. It comes with an angel card book. Now, to be honest, I don't use the book. I use the cards. Now, I have cards here. This deck here. Like if you look through it, I'm just going to pull one of the older ones out. So the older ones are kind of beaten up, but they have particular. I love those because they're beaten up. Now, but this is a new deck, and I'm going to just dump this new deck in with some of these old decks, that I've had, because it's been a long time since I've gotten one, and so I want to sort of replenish them. Now, as I pulled it out, 2 cards fell to the floor, and so I want to suggest to you to use the angel cards as a means to connecting and stimulating your relationship with your intuition. So I'm and I also suggest that this is the bowl I use to find something that is sort of a unique bowl that really has meaning to you. So I'm just going to dump these in so these old cards get mixed up with the new ones. But I just want to suggest to you, and this is what I've trained myself to believe, and people may not be aware of it, but what they talk about as reality is really something they've trained themselves to believe. People, have you noticed how people's realities tend to be extremely self-serving towards their particular group or vantage point? So what I'm suggesting is that what we see and take as real is not just reality as it is in a neutral way, but as we actually want it to be. So I've actually trained myself to believe that I'm going to pick the right card, that the right card is going to come to me. But also if something happens, it's like the cards want to jump out. And so 2 cards fell to the ground. Now I have no idea what it is, but I just want to show you what fell to the ground. Abundance. And isn't it interesting with a lot of these words, abundance, the dance? Isn't it interesting how often these words are musical, the universe, the one song? So that was one that just jumped out. And so it made me feel like, life is trying to bring that relationship to us. So again, now this is the other card that jumped out. Acceptance. And if you look at it, acceptance has an angel at a door which says welcome above it. And I just want to suggest to you that this is key. Remember that song by the Beatles, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, singing songs of wisdom, let it be. This is what happens when we have a radical acceptance. Our life accepts us into it. When we have an acceptance for life, we are now welcome in our life. It doesn't mean that we're not going to try to create change or try to set limits when people are not being respectful. But because our life also includes us and how we feel about what's going on. But it allows you to take a step back and allows the whole thing to be on stage, including you. And you're sitting back in this pure awareness, which is I am, which is this radical acceptance, which we call positive indifference. So when we establish positive indifference, when we realize that the truth is that we love our life, just like you love your child. The world doesn't have to be going great for you to feel like you love your child. So when we love our life exactly as it is, we actually become more capable of creating a vision that connects with what we really want to be, which after all is really our own personal greatness in creating a world that's more beautiful. So the resources are important. Know what your resources are. Consider writing down what your resources are and utilizing them in a day. And I want to suggest to you that you consider getting the angel cards. It's what, $20, something like that? It's so worth it. The other thing about the angel cards, and we'll occasionally go through them different ways that you can stimulate your intuition with them. But, again, this is my perception. I'm not saying my perception is reality. This is just what I perceive. But another way for me, and what I actually do, is I feel like my intuition is in contact on a subtle level with people that I've known and loved who are no longer here. When someone passes out of this world, again, my perception is as soon as they pass out of the world, time becomes immaterial. So someone who passed away 10 years ago, in terms of what it means, instantaneously, we're now 10 years later. And I want to suggest that when someone passes out of this world who really, really loves you, they still want to support you. And finding ways like the angel cards to allow their support to make itself manifest is a way for you to connect in a positive way, even with people who have passed out of this world. Again, it may not be reality, but this is my perception. And there's a lot of other things as well. And so we want to talk about and add to our resources and utilize them regularly. So thank you for being part of this exploration of greatness. This exploration of seeing what it means to be great and finding resources that can sharpen that perception. I'm going to ring the bell and I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Here we go. I picked one more. This is not one of the oldest cards, but it's much older. Integrity. And remember, integrity could mean like moral character, but it's also structural, not going to extremes. I bring my hands together and I bow to you. Thank you so much for joining. Please let other people know about these videos. Please subscribe, like the video, and be part of the conversation. Namaste, my friend.